Hi, I'm Lee Myers, and this afternoon I will be explaining the leisure educational game that I have come up with. The name of the game is Leisure Head, and here is going to be the outer cover. As I bring it closer, you will be able to see that I have placed many different leisure activities as well as recreational things that you can do within the community as well. I have based this game off of Heads Up, which was originally developed by Miss Ellen DeGeneres. When I thought about bringing this game to life, I definitely thought about those within the Continuum Care Village, where there will be quite a range of living facilities dependent upon the healthcare status of that particular resident. The game will present quite a variety of different leisure activities that are going to be appropriate for the resident at this time. It can be possible to categorize the activities into three major groups if you would like. Currently, I have them all on one color, or you can do it with maybe green, blue, red, and orange. That way, again, it might be easier for those to distinguish which ones are appropriate. Let's go ahead and get started first and foremost with the number of players, and then I will move on to the playing time as well as the rules for it. When we talk about the game, there will be a few pieces of equipment that we will need to use. First and foremost, the headband, and as well as the timer. So when you do go ahead and get started, this will allow you a certain amount of time to, again, guess the activity that the individual will have on the headband. If you need more time, you can always use either a stopwatch or even a kitchen timer. That's going to be something that you'll have handy, maybe in your facility or even in the residence room. So when we talk about the number of players that are going to be able to participate, you can take as little as 6 or as much as 8. Now with the game itself, it can take up to an hour, but do remember that's also going to include a warm-up and a debriefing time to allow those that did participate to let you know what they thought or things that, again, you could work on improving. So with the instructions, we're first going to mix up the cards and give each card to a player that is participating in the game. So here are going to be the cards. Like I said, I have them all on orange currently, but you will be able to categorize them into different colors if that is going to help out. So here are going to be your cards. Now with that, again, they will be face down. The remaining cards at this time then will be placed in the middle of the table. You're going to deal then each player 3 chips. So again, these are going to be things that you can easily get at your local craft store as well. Or again, you may even have them extra and want to maybe you have your games lying around. So each player will receive 3 of these chips. Then each player will take a headband and be able to adjust it comfortably to their head. Okay, the first player then will pick up the card in front of them and insert it into the headband. So you are, of course, going to be able to show all those that, again, are going to be helping you decide what that activity is. And you'll just place it right here on top, so those that, again, are playing will be able to see it appropriately. One other thing that you can do is make the print larger, so that way they don't have to worry about seeing it at long distances. So when we have it placed into the clip, the player will then turn the timer over, and that will again start that process of those trying to give clues to what the leisure activity may be. Now, when the other participants are trying to help you decide what that leisure activity is, they can, of course, give you questions that are going to be yes, no, I don't know, or maybe. So with that being said, that should be able to allow a variety of questions to be asked to hopefully get you to that leisure activity. Now the one, of course, I have is running. So there's many things that can go hand in hand with that, and things that you can do outside, inside, on a treadmill, for any type of leisure activity. Now, if I were to guess it, then one of my chips would be able to go into the center of the table. If I was unable to figure out what the activity was by the time the timer had ended, then again, I would take one of the chips from the middle of the table. So the goal of the game is to hopefully, again, get rid of the chips, and that will then determine who the winner of the game is. When we talk about the instructions for construction, you can easily use some of these again if you've already had maybe a heads up game. If you would like to necessarily purchase it from a local craft store or make it yourself, the headband can be a challenging thing. But you can always use a piece of cloth, you can use an old t-shirt, or even just a headband itself that you may have lying around with one of your little ones. And if that is the case, that's great, because then you can also take a small Velcro patch and place it on the headband itself, so that will allow the card to be able to stick as the game goes on. I hope that, again, you're seeing where I'm heading, because, again, I've played Heads Up before, and it's been very fun, especially with the big groups of people. You get to really laughing and just having a great time, and this is also an opportunity for those residents to be able to get to know each other. And at any time, whether it's an activity or even a game, there are going to be modifications that are going to be needed to be made. So first and foremost, one of the other things we can do is have a list of all the activities that are presented. Within the game, I have 60 to at least 100 different activities. And so with that list provided, the participants will be able to, again, say activities they've done recently or activities, again, they have not tried before. And then again, if they have, when those activities come up, they can report at the end of the game their experiences when they have done that activity. Another great option for you to do is write down some of your favorite activities. And whenever one of the activities comes up within the game, then again, maybe you can return a chip, because that will get you so much closer to possibly winning the game. If you have any additional questions, I will supply the instructions list as well as with the construction of the equipment or any additional modifications that you can make. So thank you again, and have a great evening.